Emotional times.
5 years ago, my partner Lucas and I decided to sell everything we owned, including our place in North Hollywood, California. And know that we are selling everything for a chance to travel the world. I wanted to run away from the acting industry and my bad mental health, and Lucas wanted some fresh scenery after growing up in Southern California. We had created this online business 2 years previously and were just making enough to make this happen. We also hoped the sale of all of our stuff and also our place could allow us to travel for a while. We didn't even really know what to call ourselves, but eventually the term digital nomad started popping up everywhere.
8 million Americans were already digital nomads.
But for digital nomads,
dream lifestyle that a lot of digital nomads have.
And so we had it. We were digital nomads. The excitement of traveling to a new place was enough that I forgot about my poor mental health and everything and everyone I left behind. Running away from my problems was the best idea I ever had. Well, until it wasn't. We decided to stay in a new country every month, which we figured would give us enough time to experience the place at a slower pace, but really it was so we could keep up with all the work you have to do when you run your own business. I also started this YouTube channel, a website, and my Instagram to create a travel diary of all the places we were visiting and to give tips along the way. The grind of constantly planning the next trip while also getting enough content from the current trip, editing the videos, adding the blogs, posting the Instagrams, YouTube, etc., while also keeping the online business afloat was a lot. It ended up that we only really went out to experience where we were visiting once a week. The rest of the time was spent inside at our Airbnb, at our computers, fighting to make enough money to just keep this going. And fighting to not have to return to the lives that we left. The lives we hated. Now I know what you're thinking. Hey, Lauren, you and Lucas figured out a way to actually full-time travel. You had an online business that at least was cutting it to make enough money to do this thing. And you are right. Tons of luck was involved. It was the right idea at the right time, in the right place, with the right people. Of course, there is like the determination to keep going, the constant ever-evolving ideas, and the support team, and all of that to keep it going. But the initial idea was enough to do this. So I do feel extremely grateful, and I do feel an extreme privilege to be able to have done this. But nonetheless, let's go over some pros and cons of being a digital nomad in case you want to be one day, or you're just genuinely curious about my opinions. Pro, being pushed out of your comfort zone. And con, being pushed out of your comfort zone. Pro, you get to see new places. And a con, fear of the unknown. A pro, freedom. Con, living out of a suitcase. And Lucas and I shared a suitcase the first few years, so that one. Nice pro, meeting new people, but also not having any friends nearby. Also, let's choose not to look at how wonky this looks, and also this gaping hole on the wall right here. It's disturbing, I know. Pro, culture shock. And con, culture shock. Big pro, trying new foods. But also a con, language barriers. Big pro, living your life spontaneously. But then there's the con, living on the edge. And what I mean by living on the edge is that you kind of feel bad about leaving your Airbnb and going around discovering the place where you are because you feel like you should be back at the Airbnb, being on the computer so that you keep working to be able to fund the fact that you are traveling. And then the vicious cycle that continues because when you're at your computer trying to make money to be able to travel, you also are like, hey, I'm here in this really cool place, but I'm not outside traveling it. I'm staying indoors while on my computer, but I need to be because I need to be able to afford to go out and travel and all to do all these things. And then the cycle. And last but certainly not least, the biggest con of all. Realizing that travel doesn't fix your problems. Oh, and the lack of Q-tips. These were my travel journals. But before we dive into these, we're gonna need two things. A cup of coffee and a candle for vibes. So throughout the 5 years of traveling, I kept some journals. This is the first journal I ever did. And what's funny is the first half of the journal is all of my old acting notes because I was still like taking acting classes and like doing the whole acting thing. And clearly I didn't want to buy a new journal because why would you, So here is the first entry of our travels, October 14th, 2018. Said goodbye to LA today, Hazelhurst and all. Hazelhurst was the name of the street we lived on. Hopefully all goes well with the sale of the house. Felt on the verge of tears several times, but I'm not sure why. Just probably anxious to get going and how everything happened so fast. I can't believe it, but I can believe it. So glad everything is done. Selling it all was awesome. I will be much more conscious next time we settle down somewhere. I really don't want to have so much stuff ever again. Seriously though, if you ever do that in your life and get rid of everything you own, you will realize how much stuff you actually have, and it's way too much. It just is. Oh, this is funny. It has a travel nightmare, a true story about vacation gone bad. Amsterdam flight canceled, had to plane to Paris, delayed, madness to get taxi, small hotel, rushed to the Eiffel Tower, almost missed the train. Travel tickets are expensive, but I think out of that travel nightmare, being able to go see the Eiffel Tower, and I had never seen it before, I mean, that's a win in my book. So, I mean, that's the whole thing. It's like while you're in it, you're like, all these things, this sucks. But then from the outside looking in, it's like, you get to see the Eiffel Tower. Switzerland, so much cheese and chocolate. I faced a huge fear of mine in Switzerland. I went paragliding, and it said that I was so badass about it, and I can't wait to do it again. So I am like literally so scared of heights, but I like forced myself to do that, and it was such a cool experience. And I mean, you're in Switzerland, right? You got to do it. So I think like traveling full time also puts you out of your comfort zone. The amount of times that I decided just to do something, like whether it's because I got to do it for the vlog, like just a video for you guys, or just for myself, it allowed me that like opportunity to be able to push myself outside of my comfort zone, and I really appreciated that about it too. Austria, Wiener Schnitzel the size of your head, known for their schnapps. London, ate fish and chips and afternoon tea. This is one of my favorite things I've collected through the years, and it happened in the first year of traveling. But my friend lived like outside of London, and I wanted to go visit him, so I took a train from King's Cross to him, and literally my train was on platform 9. Platform 9, where 9 3/4 from Harry Potter is located, and literally I kept the ticket, and it's like London's King's Cross, and then it says, well, I guess it doesn't say it's on platform 9, but it was, okay? Just, I promise it was. It was amazing. Real Harry Potter experience. So the date on this is September 20th, 2019, and so it's almost a year later after full-time traveling, and I realized that that did not fix me, did not bring me happiness like I thought it would. So I started to doing a lot of digging. I started reading a lot more books. I started to look into therapy, things like that. So these entries are very intense, you could say. Like right here, it just says, love yourself. And this one says, feeling you haven't achieved enough doesn't mean you haven't achieved enough. So a lot of things that I dealt with was just, I didn't, well, clearly didn't love myself, and also didn't believe that I had or deserved like happiness or deserved anything because I hadn't achieved enough in life. So, you know, a lot of that was going on. And then I was doing YouTube. I was making YouTube videos, and they weren't like getting a lot of views and stuff like that. So it was just like, I had stopped, you know, going after my dreams of being an actress, which I literally had since I was like 7 years old. I was obviously supporting Lucas's dream, and that was very exciting and allowed us to travel, and that became like so amazing. But I felt like this hole, like I wasn't doing anything in life, and I thought that you needed to be doing something or achieving something to like deserve to be alive, you know what I mean? Or maybe you don't know what I mean, but if that's something that resonates with you, you understand. And so yeah, a lot of these entries are very much into like going deep and unpacking what it all meant. Okay, so I found a entry about the acting industry here that I wrote. Acting industry, you're constantly hearing how horrible you are, how you're not good enough, you're too ugly, you're too fat, you're not funny, you're too loud, you're too plain. Then you go to over 100 auditions, never get a job, and now it's confirmed. You're just not good enough. This is how you begin to feel less and less. You live your whole life for approval. Your dream has been to do this, and in order to do this, you have to impress many, many people to get there. So then you really start to live for others and not for yourself. Then I wrote down here, live your life the way you want to, regardless what others think. Honestly, I still need to remember that. being on YouTube, it is so tough because you are constantly wanting to create videos and create content that you think other people will like. Isn't that the whole like idea of YouTube? You know what I mean? So it's tricky because I'm trying to focus on doing videos that I enjoy, sharing more of my story, and bringing you along for different journeys and traveling and stuff like that I do, but making sure I'm still happy with it. Because if you're just constantly living your life for other people's opinions or what other people think, you are never, you're never gonna live a life true to yourself. And that's like been my whole life's goal and shift throughout all these years and years of therapy now, to just focus on living a life true to myself. Still working on it, but it is totally worth it. So something I believed about myself was that I was never able to find happiness. I just couldn't be happy. Other people were able to find happiness. Other people could be happy. Not me. Not me. But then I realized that happiness was actually a choice, one that you can decide to have every day. And by finding things throughout the day to be grateful for, to things that bring you joy, bring you happiness. And the more I shifted to trying to find the gratefulness out there instead of like dwelling on like what I lacked, the more I started to see things. Like I literally couldn't be happy when I had no responsibilities. I was traveling full time and like living my dream life, and I couldn't find happiness then. It just was a terrible moment to realize, because in an ideal world, that will solve everything. That will fix everything. It didn't. It was inside. It was always what was inside. You can take away the things, or you can move, or you can travel full time, but what's inside isn't going to be fixed unless you work on what's inside. So that's what's really interesting about this journal, is just that I'm working out of everything that's on the inside and trying to see the real parts of me that I love, and to love those parts, and to appreciate everything in my life and the world more, and to heal from, you know, what the acting industry did to me or whatever. And like I said, with the help of therapy and books and just journaling. It's great to look back on and see how far I've came, but man, quite emotional stuff, which I think I'll touch on more in a separate video. I think I want to do like little mini documentaries of like things that I've been through in my life and like how I overcame them, I guess, you know, because I think a lot of people can relate to it, at least from who I've talked to, my sisters or my friends or whoever. And yeah, that sounds like fun to do. It'll be intense, but it'll be fun. So let me know in the comments below if that's something you'd be interested in, because I think it'd be really cool to do. Anyway, back to the rest of this video. So it has been 5 years. 5 years of packing, unpacking, repacking, 5 years of staying in a place that you don't know, 5 years of the unknown, 5 years of all of it, 5 years of seeing the epicness that a place can be, 5 years of traveling to those places, 5 years. 5 years of working your ass off, hoping you can still do it. It has been 5 years. It's been awesome. It's been tough. It's been enough. We are done. We have found the most amazing house that we are renting here on the East Coast in an amazing place, one that we are absolutely obsessed with, and I'll do more videos on it later. But we have a place. We have a mattress that I picked out myself, pillows no one else has ever slept on, a dresser to put my clothes in, and unlimited Q-tips. And probably you could tell I am in that space right now, hence why there's literally nothing in this office but a few items. When you start with nothing, it takes a while to accumulate some stuff, which, as it said in my journal, I want to try to be more conscious of what I bring into my house so I don't have a bunch of stuff. It's kind of nice to start over that way, really. And I just wanted to let you know that I'm excited to show you this version of my life and this journey that I'm on. And I thank you to everyone who's ever watched a video or who watched this video and has now started on the journey of my life with me. And I can't wait to show you more about travels, because I'm still gonna travel, guys. I'm still gonna travel, I just have a home base. Ugh. And it's been so exciting. Literally, Lucas and I have described it as waking up like every day is Christmas. That is the kind of joy that I am feeling right now. It's just so exciting. Do I miss traveling full time? No. Do I miss travel? No. We have been exploring all over the place. As you saw in the last few videos, I've been doing some solo trips, it's possible now. I can travel without Lucas because he has a place he can stay, you know, and live, which is really exciting. So there'll be more solo travel trips where I can go and visit friends, and there's just gonna be so much on this channel. So make sure to subscribe for more travel adventures. Like this video if you like it, and also if you're a digital nomad and you understand what I'm feeling or have experienced any of this at all or haven't experienced this at all, or you're thinking about being a digital nomad, like let me know in the comments what it's been like for you and what your thought process is and all this. I would love to know. I don't know many people who are digital nomads, one, and two, who did it for 5 years. I don't really know a lot of people, so it'd be nice to like meet you and to talk about it because yeah, it's been a wild ride. It's been a wild journey. It's been a wild journey. And yeah, I'll see you guys next video. Thanks so much for watching and supporting as always. I love you. Bye.